Right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's Culture Report. I'm Jamal Simon.
And I'm Ashton Brooks.
And today we're joined by our super special guest, producer in residence, Antonia Velez.
Thank you for having us.
She loves us. She's back. She keeps coming back. How are you enjoying the Culture Report? I'm curious.
I love it. I love being here. You guys are amazing.
I love your insight, so I'm excited to have you back for these.
Thank you. I'm excited too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got a nice packed show for y'all. All right. Y'all help me sing. Me, 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 me. B is back and I'm sleeping real good at night. Y'all know that song. Don't play with me. Saddle up and get in formation. Beyonce's going country, y'all. The Queen dropped 2 new tracks during the Super Bowl on Sunday. Texas Hold'em and 16 Carriages. Very iconic. Both are country songs. They're part of Act 2 of the Renaissance Trilogy, which is set to drop on March 29th.
And speaking of good music, T-Pain discussed the racism he's encountered working in country music. The singer had this to say.
Country music is where I get all my harmonies. Country and gospel music, that's where all my harmonies come from. I wrote a lot of country songs. I stopped taking credit for it because as cool it is to see your name in those credits like that, the racism that comes after it is just like, I'll just take the check.
And in case you didn't know, country music started with black people. But centuries of racism and erasure have hidden the black influence in a now white-dominated musical space. But the genre started with the banjo, a signature instrument of country music that was brought to America from West Africa during the slave trade. And now the conversation is shifting as black artists reclaim the music. So what has, I know a lot is happening right now in country music, and it's ironically February, Black History Month. But what has been the biggest piece of, like, the biggest part of the discourse that y'all have seen related to these stories?
I've seen, at least, I mean, this is so fresh. This is so new. It's been less than a week since this has been out. But everyone on social media, at least, you know, the black side of social media is talking about this radio station that said that they wouldn't play Beyonce. It's a country radio station saying they wouldn't play Beyonce.
In Oklahoma.
In Oklahoma, yes. Exactly. And they're like, why not? It's racism, this and that. Initially, when I read, which I mean, very well might be, I don't know the people. But when I first read it, I was just, the message that the radio station sent back to that listener, they were like, oh, we don't play Beyonce, we play the best of country music or whatever. So when I read it, I was like, oh, they don't know Beyonce just released a country song, clearly. Because in my head, that's how I read it. I was like, oh, they're like, oh, no, I'm not going to play Beyonce. I'm not playing Jennifer Lopez.
What are your thoughts?
I feel like if it's a country music radio station, like, this is something that they obviously probably have heard of. Especially because Beyonce isn't just any singer. Beyonce is Beyonce. So when Beyonce releases new music, everyone knows about it.
Right.
And if it's country, you should know about it.
Right.
So
I agree with her. I really feel like this was a misstep. I feel like somebody wasn't doing their job. So, like, while I didn't take the email with, like, having malice intent, I thought it was, like, somebody wasn't doing their job.
They're just not good at their job. It's not that they're racist. They just haven't, they're not, once again, I don't know, maybe.
I think if you go, like, there's a lot of historical context to black people and the influence in country music. So I think even in that response is like a dismissal of black people being present in music. Like, Beyonce wouldn't be, like, why are they even emailing me? Like, you know. But if you go back, the banjo specifically was an African instrument, and it got popularized because of minstrel shows, which mocked black culture. White people wearing blackface and making fun of black culture. And it was through that show where the banjo was put on display and then popularized and then sent out to the mass American market. And that's how, at the time, it was called hillbilly music. And that's how country music got started. But there was initial black, like, you know what I mean? Like, there was a black influence in that.
That black origin.
Right.
Absolutely.
So, like, to me, like, even going back to that email with the country music station in Oklahoma, I think it was a huge oversight because, like, your music station, so you should be having your pulse on country music regardless of what artist is releasing music. So you should know, like, oh, this is a country music release from Beyonce. So I still think it was racist.
I mean, I think it also, like, especially with what you said, it's important to, I mean, to question, like, why is it so surprising to have a black artist's name be in the same sentence of, like, country music.
Right.
You know, I don't know if this was like a live situation, but if it was an email that was sent in by a listener, why not be like, if they actually didn't know, why not be like, hey, let me look up Beyoncé new music. Let me look up Beyoncé
Right.
country music. Like, where is the effort to even want to include
Right.
this?
And I think it's because we're historically not included in country music, so it's like, why was you know what I mean? So I feel like
country. I feel like the
totally
country
agree.
sphere can be real gatekeepy, which is odd.
But it should be us gatekeeping.
It should. And like I was saying, I feel like we're always like, I feel like when it comes to R&B and hip hop and things like that, we're fairly, I mean, we're still a little hesitant to accept, you know, white people want to come in and indulge in our culture and our music. But I feel like we're way more accepting. We celebrated Tori Kelly, JoJo, Tina Marie, all the ones we love.
We did.
And I don't see that same effort or energy in something like country or rock and roll or anything like that. Things that we influence.
I totally agree with that.
Totally agree.
Well, I feel like we're going to be looking and hearing about this all year. I
yeah.
feel like this is just the
This
beginning.
is
For
just the
sure.
beginning of this rollout. So this whole album's supposed to be
And I
country.
can't wait for it. Anyway, efforts to educate about diversity, equity, and inclusion are being targeted nationwide. According to an Associated Press analysis, Republican lawmakers in at least 20 states have proposed dozens of bills to restrict DEI initiatives or require them to be disclosed. In response, Democrats have filed bills requiring or promoting DEI initiatives. Also, in Florida, where some DEI restricting measures are already in place, nearly 300 churches have taken over the job of teaching Black history.
And the results are in from the largest U.S. survey of trans people, and it's full of significant insights. So nearly 93,000 trans people living in the U.S. were surveyed, and the results showed that majority of people felt a lot more satisfied with their lives after they transitioned. The report also showed that the unemployment rate amongst trans people is 5 times the national average.
If I told you I wasn't African American, would you believe me? Right now, a clip is circulating online of Amber McTerry, a Black woman, saying she doesn't want to be referred to as African American. She explained why on an episode of the Misinformation Show.
We hyphenate African, but any of you guys' nationality? Can I go to Jamaica and see you guys calling yourself African Jamaicans? For a long time, we have been aiding in our own genocide, okay, by calling everybody Black. Everybody's not Black. Everybody's not one of us. And I get Black is a race, but at some point, we need to make a distinction. Can I go to Africa or Jamaica and claim to be Jamaican? No, I cannot. But any person that looks like me can come to America and claim to be one of us.
You heard it. My question to y'all is, because I've actually had this thought, is should all Black people be referred to under like one blanket, all-encompassing term like African American?
Actually, like for me, like it doesn't offend me if someone calls me African American. Like, it won't even cross my mind. But like I refer to myself as Black, and that's just like how I identify. But I think there's a lot of nuance to our history that we're still learning because of the lack of education that we're taught coming up in the education system. So I think there's a lot of I think there's a lack of knowledge of like where we come from sometimes, of, like specifically. So I understand where she's coming from, but like to me, it's not like a fight that I fight.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's something I really want to fight, but if we want to get into the minutia of it, like, yeah, I'm like, I feel like it's like it's starting to feel like a PC term, like African American. They'll put it in so they don't offend anybody.
Yes,
I'm like,
I do think it's
just
that,
so y'all know, like, Black is fine. If you call me
Right.
Black, I'm not gonna have an issue with that because that's more all-encompassing. Like, we're
Right.
Black, like no matter where our origins are. Now, I don't want you going around saying the Blacks. Please don't do that.
Okay, like that's
Don't-
a little bit like.
Please, God, don't do that. You can say the Black community, Black people. We are
Right.
people,
Black
not the
folks.
Blacks. Not the Blacks, y'all. Black folks. Yeah, I'm totally down with that. But yeah, I do understand what she's saying because we definitely don't walk around saying like, oh, Leslie over here is European American. Like, we would say white. People
Right.
just say white. I know they were throwing around Caucasian for a while, but yeah, Black is fine.
Yeah.
That's the moral of my story.
Yeah, I think people, I mean, and if someone wants to be identified as African American, I mean, however people self-identify is how we should identify them.
Yeah, and just because you see a Black person and they're in America doesn't mean they're American. They could be visiting. They could be on vacation.
Very
Very
true.
true.
You don't know.
Yeah. Okay. I like that one.
All right, well, the Lunar New Year was last week. NBC estimates 2 billion people celebrate this holiday. But believe it or not, it's still not recognized as a national holiday in the United States. In Colorado, this Lunar New Year was the first that was recognized as an official state holiday. Colorado is only the second state to make it official, behind California. NBC also says more Asian American and Pacific Islander employees are taking Lunar New Year off, despite it not being a company holiday, due to DEI initiatives and growing awareness in companies.
Chinese American rapper Bohan Phoenix is talking about a lot of hot button topics on his latest album, Make You Proud. So, including his actions toward the Asian rap community in the summer of 2020 during the Black Lives Matter protests. So, in the interview with Associated Press, Phoenix recalled calling out high-profile rappers and record labels after the death of George Floyd, a black man who was killed due to police brutality. He says he saw a lack of accountability since Asian rappers were, quote, they made a boatload of money from black culture. He felt that it was only right that they show up and donate for the cause. So the label that he did call out ended up donating like $60,000 towards funds against racial inequality. I'm curious, do you think, because he did apologize, do you think that he should have gone about it a different way as opposed to just immediately going public like, oh, you need to do this?
I feel like how someone chooses to address inequality, like as long as it's not physically harming someone, I think, however they want to do that is up to them and their message.
I agree. Like, this probably wasn't the best for him in his career and his relationships with them, but I actually find it to be more genuine that it was like, he's like, oh, I'm not worried about how I'm going to be impacted by this or how my career is going to be impacted by this. I want to see some change happen. I need to see you guys.
I think that's true allyship. And
yeah.
I think we should, we've seen that historically in a lot of different movements. The gay rights movements, we saw that with the March on Washington, how inclusive it was of everyone comes together to be behind a single issue. And I think him spearheading this and using his platform and his voice and his album specifically, I think that's what you should do as an artist.
Yeah, and I mean, with the platform that he had, the result was $60,000 being donated to the cause. So it's like, it's not only genuine, it's also effective.
Right.
Yeah, and allyship isn't necessarily easy. For some people it is, but it's uncomfortable. It can easily be uncomfortable. And for him, he was like, okay, that's cool, I'm fine with that. If I'm benefiting from this community's culture, the least I can do is say, hey, I was saying, you don't even have to be political. You don't have to say all these things and make all these speeches and preach about it. It can be as simple as giving someone from that community a platform to speak and share their voice.
We saw that a lot during the pandemic. I saw a lot of white creators and white social media influencers lend their platform to different activists, like trans activists. Oh, I can't think of her name from Brokeback Mountain, the Princess Diaries.
Anne Hathaway?
Yeah, she I'm sorry. Wait, Anne Hathaway, she lent her her platform during that time to a trans activist, Erin Lang, and it was phenomenal because she misstepped talking about trans issues, and then she used her platform to give it to Erin to speak about those issues, and I think at the time she had 12 million followers.
Yeah,
so.
and I saw Miley Cyrus do it throughout the pandemic too. She people of color.
Right.
Queer people. I know she donates a lot. She has a whole fun foundation where she helps queer people. So it's
I want to see more of it. I want to see more from
all
different
you need
artists.
to you don't have to do that much. I promise. Just walk like you talk it. Give us the opportunity to have that platform and share our stories. So I mean, good on you, Phoenix. Keep going, Bohan.
Totally agree.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to get into some more good news of the week. Okay, the 2024 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominations are here. And this year's nominees include music legends Mariah Carey, Mary J. Blige, Lenny Kravitz, Sade, and many more. Artists become eligible for nomination 25 years after their first release. This year, 10 out of 15 artists are first-time nominees. The inductees will be announced in late April.
We're in the process of putting together 3.
Yeah.
Will you come be part of it, whatever it is?
Right, legend of the screen and stage Cheryl Lee Ralph got all choked up on The View when Whoopi Goldberg invited her back to be a part of Sister Act 3. The third installment comes more than 30 years after the second movie debuted back in 1993. We can also expect to see Keke Palmer and Jennifer Lewis.
Represent, man. You don't got too many Puerto Ricans doing this thing. And, hey, culture, you always got to represent your culture. Know where you came from.
And Latinos keep making history. We just did that at the Super Bowl. According to the NFL, the Kansas City Chiefs' Isaiah Pacheco is the first starting running back to win 2 Super Bowls in their first 2 seasons.
Shout out to him. They're doing the thing.
Shout out.
There was some stuff I didn't know about the Sister Act 3. I didn't know Jennifer Lewis and...
Oh, yes. She's just, like, collecting them like Infinity Stones. If y'all watch Marvel, she is, like, going after all these, like, icons in Black Hollywood. And she's like, oh, we're gonna do this. If we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it right. And I really
Whoopi handing out jobs like that?
Also, with Mariah
Whoopi?
Carey, we just found out that she has a collaboration coming with Ariana Grande.
Oh, my God. I'm so excited.
Which it feels like a full circle moment. I know this was kind of back with the Osana.
Yes.
We thought that was a full circle moment. And a collaboration like this?
Yes, it comes out Friday. I'm so excited. I tried not to pass out when I
That's
saw the
gonna be
announcement on Instagram, so that's going to be really cool.
And, oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
Speaking of the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Big moment. Usher. He is the moment. This is like, it's like he's in his prime.
This was redemption to me from like last year's show, not redemption for him because last year's show I thought was like atrocious.
Oh.
But this was a Super Bowl show. It had energy. There was guest performers. There was a flow to the show. There was a synergy. Alicia Keys even like
Alicia
Lord, bless her
Keys.
heart.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, do you think that he relied too heavily on his guests, like some critics are saying?
I don't listen to any of those critics. This was a great show and it displayed R&B and black music perfectly to me. Like I thought it was amazing.
I agree. It passed by so quick. I was like, I didn't realize how many hits Usher had. I knew every single song, and he didn't even go into his most recent stuff.
Right. I was so disappointed that he didn't go into his recent music and his recent album. I think it's called Coming Home. Mm-hmm. Amazing. It was an amazing R&B album. So he didn't touch on any of his new music, but this show went through all his hits, and it was like phenomenal.
It was electric. Like people, like you could feel the energy from the TV.
Like I only had one critique. I don't know if I was right one. Was that the snippets were too long? But I feel like this was like a tease. He's like, if you want to see the full show, come on tour, and he's going on tour. So
I guess it was smart.
It was smart because now I want to go buy a ticket to the tour.
I do too.
And I think that's smart. I think it was smart, and I commend you. Kudos, Usher. I know you love to watch. Thank you guys so much for joining this week's Culture Report. We'll be back to continue the conversation next Thursday right here on 9 News Plus and 9news.com.